scribes and the doctors of the law want to know from Jesus what the greatest commandment is, what the greatest commandment of all is. And if you look at our world today, many people want to know what is most important in religion. Some say that it's important to be baptized, and we had a baptism, 2 baptisms. Was it last week? Week before. Time's flying. Others say that it's to go to church and to participate on Sunday. Others say it's to love our neighbor and to struggle for a more just world. Others are concerned only with appearances and the busyness of the church. The busyness. The question of the doctors of the law come before Jesus today. And sometime before the question was asked, they asked him also about the resurrection. And the doctor who had participated in this debate was pleased with Jesus' answer as well. He perceived it as his great intelligence, that Jesus was very, very intelligent and filled with wisdom. And then he asks him, which is the greatest commandment of all? Which is the greatest commandment of all? And at that time, and we've talked about this in seminary, and we've probably even talked about this in other homilies, that the Jews were controlled by many laws. Oh my God, they had a law for everything. 613 laws on how you were to eat and how you were to sleep and how you were to do this and bury people and on and on and on and on and on. So many of the Jews of Jesus' time were trying to keep all these commands, all these mitzvahs. And this is where they're trying to trap Jesus and seeing if he's going to stay with all these 613 laws or he's going to give us something new. And he kind of splits the odds. He gives 2 wonderful, the greatest, you could say, laws. To love God with all of your heart and to love your neighbor as yourself. I think it's very easy to love God with all our hearts. Pretty easy. We don't see him. It's pretty easy. Well, I love you, God. It's a little more difficult to love our neighbor, especially those neighbors that we don't particularly like. Let's face it, we've got them in our lives. We have them at work. They walk in and they walk in the room and you're ready to rip their head off. Even sometimes family members. Oh my God, family members. And this is always the hardest thing to love those that we can see with our eyes. It's easy to love God who we can't see. But to love those, as Father Montano would say, to love those who are unlovely, that's the tough thing. But we have to look also at the words of Jesus. He says to love your neighbor as yourself. So guess what, folks? It starts here. It starts here. And if we're not loving ourselves, then how are we to love our neighbor? And sometimes, my brothers and my sisters, the best love of all is to dump the toxic waste. It's terrible even to say that. To get away from people who are toxic. Doesn't mean you don't love them. You can pray for them. Pray for them every day. Pray that they become less toxic. We can pray for them, but if their appearance in your life brings you down, maybe it's time to start looking at home, loving yourself a little bit. And that doesn't mean that maybe 2 or 3 or 4 or 20 or 100 years from now, if you're still alive, you can meet with that person or persons. And time, as they say, will heal all things. But for now, when you are put in a position of toxicity, it's probably best to just stay away. And that love is fine. I think God honors that type of love because you're loving yourself first. Don't think by seeing this person all the time, you're becoming a martyr for Christ. You're becoming a goofball to have to put up with this person constantly. It is better to leave them be and let God take care of them. Pray for them though. That's a necessity. We're asked to pray for those that we don't particularly like, and we're to pray for our enemies as well. I pray for Donald Trump every Sunday. Not that he's my enemy. He's my president, but I pray for him. My cousin Audrey does as well. Today, we have two laws that Jesus says. He kind of doesn't poo-poo the 613 important laws that the Jews followed, but the two greatest ones, to love him, because in that love, we're going to find peace. We talked about that this week at our small groups, that if we find God and he finds us, that's the other thing. Let him find you. That's the difficult thing. Don't run from him. Let him find you. He's looking. He's looking every minute. Every minute of the day he's looking for you. Let him find you, that he may love you. And also, in that love that you share with him, pass it on to those around you. The greatest thing that we can get from true love of God and true love of neighbor is peace within our lives. And today the world needs peace. I need peace. You need peace. We all need to give peace a chance in our life. It's important. It's the most important thing. For without peace, there is no love. We cannot love without peace. So to those who are in your life who give you a rash, pray for them. Pray for them each and every day. And pray to God that one day things may be a little bit better with you and that person. But for now, don't lose any sleep over it.